What is up, you guys? Wonder Bro here. I'm just going to get straight into the point of this video. Acceptance is not about making anything stop immediately. Acceptance is not a technique that you use in order to make your anxiety to go away or your intrusive thoughts to immediately go away. Acceptance is an attitude change. For years, I have preached analogies. I have said things like, let the fire burn, let the storm come, and let it run out of rain. And what happens is people hear these analogies. Let the salesman knock at the door. Just don't get up and buy what he's selling. Just let the knocking happen, the thoughts and feelings, right? I'm trying to think of all the analogies I've ever used. It's been a lot. It's like a broken bone. It's going to be painful. You just have to let it heal and stop bouncing up and down on it. All of these analogies have been hinting at something very important, which again is that acceptance is an attitude shift. It's an attitude change. Acceptance is not a technique that you use in desperate attempt to make anything change, right? If you're using it that way, you are going about it the incorrect way. You have to understand that acceptance is not a technique, it is an attitude change. It is you trying to mentally grasp a new perspective about your anxiety, whether that is anxiety felt in your body or intrusive thoughts in your mind. It is a new attitude. Whether you like the analogy of the fire, the storm, the salesman, the broken bone, whatever analogy I've ever said that you enjoy, you are just trying to grasp a new perspective. You are trying to have a better attitude about what you're going through. That's what acceptance is. Acceptance is about having a better attitude about what you're going through so that you can stop adding gas to this thing, so that you can stop adding what Dr. Claire Weeks called second fear. First fear is your thoughts, those intrusives, the symptoms in your body. Second fear is your resistance to them. When you try to fight with them, argue with them, stop them, figure them out. Catch yourself adding second fear, guys, and remind yourself, wait a minute, instead of adding second fear, maybe I can try to bring about a new attitude in this situation. Maybe I can tell myself something like, you know what, these thoughts, these feelings, it's just a storm, needs to run out of rain. You know what, these thoughts, these feelings, like a broken bone, don't hop up and down on them. Just let that broken bone heal. It's going to be painful. It's okay. It's all about trying to grasp a new attitude. Some people like the whole inner child thing. I've never been a fan of that because it gets people into thinking that they've got to uncover some past trauma or something. But if you want to look at it like an inner child in the way that, okay, this child is kicking and screaming. My body is throwing a tantrum with anxiety. My mind is throwing a tantrum with intrusive thoughts. I'm not going to sit down and spit in the kid's face. I'm not going to sit down and throw a tantrum with that kid. I'm going to separate myself and say, hey, just let that kid throw its fit. I'm not going to wait around for that kid to stop kicking and screaming. I'm just going to carry on with the day. Understand a kid's going to be a kid, right? So again, there's a ton of analogies you can use here, but we're not here to talk about analogies, right? We're here to make it known. And I've tried to make this known many, many times over the years, but to really drive the point home that acceptance is not some technique that you get really good at and then you can turn your anxiety off. Acceptance is not some technique that you get really good at and you can just stop your intrusive thoughts just like that, right? Acceptance is not a technique, it is an attitude change. Now, whatever analogy you want to use or whatever you want to tell yourself, whatever, if we can get you to a place, and this is going to be a bit of a back and forth, it's not a light switch where your attitude and perspective just changes in an instant. It takes practice. You are practicing a new attitude, but if we can get you to a place where you're more comfortable with the discomfort because you've got a better mindset, you've got a better attitude, you've got a better perspective, then that's what we're going for. Not adding fuel to the fire, allowing the body to kick and scream, allowing the thoughts to kick and scream, and you're just not adding worry to it. You're catching yourself adding any sort of fight. Oh my God, what does that mean? Oh my God, make it stop. You're catching yourself in the act of doing that, and you're practicing coming back to a new attitude. Hey, as many times as you need to during the day, hey, remember, dude, this is just that child kicking and screaming. It's okay. I'm going to go do the dishes, And you catch yourself adding worry and you say things like, hey, those intrusive thoughts are allowed to be there. They're allowed to be loud. They're allowed to be sticky. That's okay as long as I just don't get involved with them and just remind myself to let them kick and scream, right? You remind yourself of that as often as you need to. But acceptance, again, I don't want to get too off track. My main point with this video is to drive home the point, the very important point, that acceptance is an attitude change. It is a perspective change. That's all it is. And then time heals. You get that better perspective and then time heals thoughts and feelings, they're allowed to happen. They're allowed to be. There's no resistance. You've got a better attitude towards them. Acceptance is just about finding a better attitude to go through the storm with, right? It's not a technique. What happens is, if you're looking at it as a technique to just make your thoughts and feelings just turn off, you're going to get really frustrated, because that's not going to happen the way you think it is. And then you're going to say things like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. No, you're not. You're just looking at what acceptance is wrong. That's what you're doing wrong, right? So very important video, man. And it was just on my mind because, you know, I see all the comments that come in. I see, you know, the way people talk about acceptance, and it makes me start to think about my past journey. And it makes me realize there's still a lot of people that are looking at acceptance the wrong way. So I feel like these videos right here are very crucial, just to get everybody back on track and say, hey, look, come here, come over here, sit down. Let me explain to you that you're not looking at acceptance the right way. And it's causing you a lot of frustration. It's causing you a lot of stress. So thank you guys, man, for watching this quick little video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. All the thumbs up, all the comments, the shares, it helps the channel grow. And in turn, you guys are helping me find people that desperately need this advice, right? So, you know, do your part, help me grow this channel if you'd like to, and let's continue to try to help people heal, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Check me out on all my other social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vacate Fear. Subscribe if you haven't already. Toss me a DM on any of those social media accounts if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me. You know, I like to break it down for people on these videos, for those of you who can't do the one-on-ones. But if you can do a one-on-one and you want to get on the phone with me and we'll look at your situation specifically, then we can do that. Just reach out to me. So thank you guys again for everything. I love you. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.